You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
What's up, Black and White Sports fans? John Matrix here, and I am back with another video. All right, folks, we knew it would not be long. It would not be long before we actually heard from the communist known as Colin Kaepernick. The former San Francisco 49ers quarterback gave his thoughts on the outcome of the Breonna Taylor situation yesterday on Twitter. Now, anybody can actually just sit on Twitter, you know, and type whatever they want to. It's not stunning. It's not brave. You could just do whatever you want. But Colin Kaepernick kind of fell in line with the rest of the woke athletes out there. And I don't even know why I'm even calling him an athlete, because he hasn't played in like 3 or 4 years. He's not an athlete anymore. Okay, he's a former athlete. But Colin Kaepernick, man, he is kind of speaking the same stuff all these other woke athletes are saying, and what he's putting out there on Twitter now is wildly dangerous. Very, very dangerous, and it covers some of the stuff that Rose actually talked about yesterday in the video he put up. But this is what Colin Kaepernick had to say about the decision in the Breonna Taylor case. He says, "The white supremacist institution of policing that stole Breonna Taylor's life from us must be abolished for the safety and well-being of our people. Hashtag Breonna Taylor, hashtag say her name, hashtag abolish the police." So there you have it, folks. Colin Kaepernick says he wants the police abolished. And this lines up with what a lot of the other athletes were saying yesterday when this decision was actually laid down. They're calling for the abolishment of the police department. No normal thinking person wants the police abolished. Nobody does. But you know what's funny? Colin Kaepernick, LeBron James, all these other crazy people, maybe they should say, don't do drugs. Don't sell drugs, in this case of Breonna Taylor, because yes, she was a drug dealer. She was the money person in a drug ring. But I guess it's okay to Colin Kaepernick and LeBron James and all these other crazy celebrities and athletes out there. They don't want to mention that she was a drug dealer. She surrounded herself with nothing but drug dealers. She was not an EMT. She was fired from that years ago. It's all been a lie out there, folks. But we know that Colin Kaepernick's ultimate agenda is communism. That's all it is. He wants anarchy. He wants destruction. You know, I said it before, man, on my channel months ago when this whole defund the police thing started. I said eventually they would start calling for the abolishment of the police. Yesterday was that day. Yesterday was that day, folks. Now they are calling for the abolishment of the police department. If that happens, folks, you know what's going to happen? Your poor minority neighborhoods are going to go down. There's going to be more violence out there on the streets. Right now, you know, I truly believe that your LeBron James and Colin Kaepernick, they're actually putting police officers' lives at stake right now with this abolishment of the police. Yesterday in Louisville, during these riots, 2 police officers were shot. They caught the guy, and he's in police custody. But Colin Kaepernick wants the police abolished. Stop the glorification of criminals. It is unfortunate that Breonna Taylor lost her life. It is unfortunate. But she made her own bed. I said on my channel, man, when you get into drugs, it leads to either 2 things: death or prison. In her case, it led to her death. But her other boyfriends, they're going to prison. They're going to be locked up. They had a mountain of evidence on this. But, you know, Colin Kaepernick and all these other crazy people, they don't want to listen to any evidence. They don't want to listen to any facts. They already have a preconceived notion that the police are bad. You know what? My best friend is a police officer. Why should he lose his job just because you say abolish the police? He's a black man that's putting food on the table for his family. but yet you want his career to be done because you hate the police. He's a stand-up guy. Police aren't out there killing black people. They're not. He's told me, man, he's been on the force for 5 years. He's pulled his gun a grand total of 2 times in 5 years. 2 times in 5 years. But all these BLM people, these woke athletes, man, they don't care. They're so far left, man. They're so far left, they're going to fall off a cliff. They're so out of touch with everyday normal thinking people. But when things go down, guess what? They still call the police. They still do. They're still going to call the police, man. If Colin Kaepernick was getting held up at gunpoint by a robber, I'm pretty sure he would call the police. If he says otherwise, I don't believe him, because we know all these athletes are complete hypocrites. You know, just like LeWoat James, who the other day said he had no comment when the sheriff in LA County called him out to help bring the person that actually shot those 2 police officers to justice. No comment? LeBron, really? You can't take these people serious. And I definitely do not take Colin Kaepernick serious, of all people. Colin Kaepernick and LeBron James are probably the 2 most dangerous athletes out there. The 2 most dangerous ones. They're out there spreading false narratives, and they have a lot of power. They have a lot of power. So whatever comes out of their mouths, a lot of people are going to listen to them and respect what they say. But I encourage you guys, do not, absolutely do not believe what LeBron James or Colin Kaepernick says. Colin Kaepernick is a Fidel Castro sympathizer. He's a communist. LeBron James, he might as well be one too, because he's definitely a Marxist, wearing that BLM shirt at NBA playoff games, which nobody's watching the NBA anyway. NFL ratings don't look too good. And Colin Kaepernick, man, the only reason why Kaepernick is relevant is because ESPN keeps propping him up. They keep putting up stories that, oh, this team doesn't have an interest in Kaepernick. Why should they? He's been gone forever. He is retired. He is done. He is a social justice warrior, communist. That's who he is, and he spreads dangerous narratives out there about the police, and he just embraces criminals like all these other crazy athletes and celebrities. Boy, ESPN had a long piece the other day after the decision went down, and all these crazy woke athletes out there were just talking about how disappointed they were because these people don't live in the real world. These people have private security. These people are millionaires. Colin Kaepernick, he's a millionaire. So they just want to spread all these false narratives just to get people riled up in an election year. But you know what? Colin Kaepernick talks about change, but guess what? He doesn't vote. He's never voted. And guess what? He's not going to vote in this year's election. You know why? Because Marxists don't vote. That's why 80% of the NBA is not registered voters, because Marxists do not vote. Communists and Colin Kaepernick do not vote. They don't care about change. They just want to keep everybody up in an uproar. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Colin Kaepernick calling for the abolishment of the police. This is communism, folks. This is Marxism. He is an idiot. So let us know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.